It's good to see you. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
All right. So I know we talked a little bit on the phone about you're having some issues because the authorities got called because the amount of cats that you have. You want to tell me a little bit more about that and what's going on?
Well, my children and neighbors, I guess, are a little disgruntled because I have a whole lot of cats.
Mm-hmm.
But I love having the cats. They all need me. And I have a hard time letting them go.
Okay. Well, that's fair. So can I ask you a little bit more about when you got the cats and what that looks like on a daily basis for you?
Well, they just kind of appear.
Okay.
So I do try to get them neutered.
Okay.
I do not want mine to multiply, but I guess because if I see one on the street, if I see one in the gutter, if I see a box and somebody wants to find homes in Walmart parking lot for all their kittens, I have to take them because I don't want them just dumped on the street.
Okay, so it sounds like you're saying when you see a stray or lost cat, you feel like it's your duty to take it in and care for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do care for them. I give them all the medical treatment. I don't care what everybody tells me. They are taken care of.
Mm-hmm. So the authorities get called, and I guess, is there a limit of the amount of cats you can have? What's the issue with the authorities?
Well, I have like 100.
Oh, wow. Okay, so you love cats.
Yeah.
And you want to take care of them all. So on a daily basis, having 100 cats, what does that look like in your house?
Well, it's hard for me to keep up with litter box.
Okay.
And maybe keep up with my own things. And I know it's probably not safe for the grandkids, and that's what my children get on to me about. They say they won't bring the grandkids over. So I know I've got to work on it. I've got to be happy with just a few.
So sounds like you're saying you have this struggle because you want a relationship with your kids and you want your grandkids to come over and have that, but you also feel like you have this duty to the cats and to take care of them.
Right.
And so you're weighing your options.
Right.
Okay. And so now there's a problem. The authorities have been called and there's a legal amount and you have too many. So you need to work on finding a happy place with less cats. Is that right?
Yeah.
Because you don't want to get in trouble?
No, I don't want to get in trouble.
Okay. So can you tell me what a benefit of not having as many cats and what a negative of not having as many cats would be? So let's start with a benefit.
Well, I guess the benefit would be my family would be happy.
Okay. All right. And what about what's negative? What are you feeling negative about that?
Well, I feel like the cats give me a sense of need. They always want me. They always love me. They're always there for me. So I guess, I need to find another way to fulfill that.
Okay. And because it's a legal obligation at this point, it's going to be something you're going to have to do. Right. What does that look like for you? What are your hopes for the situation? So you have to get rid of some. I'm sure you don't want to just, let them go. You want to make sure. So maybe trying to find homes. What is the ideal situation for you if it could all go perfectly?
Well, they have taken them all.
Okay.
So I don't have any, which is very stressful.
Okay.
For me. And I do have some favorites, and I guess the best for me would be that they give me those back.
Do you have an amount in your mind that you think that you want to keep?
Maybe 7.
Yeah.
5 to 7, maybe.
Okay. Well, that is a big change, so that's really good that you're able to realize the amount that's, needed for legal obligations and to have that relationship with your kids?
Well, they said 5.
Okay.
And they're just 7 in my head that I feel like I just can't do without. So I just hope they'll compromise.
Okay. It seems like 7 would probably be a good compromise, seeing where you started out from. And maybe you could even, start with a 7 and find 2 really good homes for 2, so you can see them, you can know where they are. What does that sound like to you? Does that sound realistic? Does that give you any hope?
Well, it gives me hope. It's better than 0.
Okay. All right. So can you tell me, on a scale from 1 to 10, how important is it for you to be able, to be happy with less cats and, live your life in a way that enables you to have relationships with your kids and your grandkids?
It's very important to me. So, probably a 10.
A 10.
It is very important. But the anxiety that I get, just the thought of the cats being put to sleep because somebody can't find them a home, or somebody doesn't want to take them, or they give up on them, or, I just don't want them killed.
Okay. So I know that there's a lot of, animal shelters in the area that aren't kill and taking cats. And so, I could work with you and get a list of those. You can go and you can talk to them, check them out, tell them the situation. So you get comfortable knowing where the cats are going because, as you're saying, it sounds like you're saying, they're a part of your feelings and you care about them deeply. And so you want to know that they're going to be okay, even if they can't be in your care.
Right.
Okay. So, how confident are you on a scale from 1 to 10 in your ability to be able to be happy with this change that you're going to make?
Probably a 5 right now.
A 5. It's scary. It's a big change. So why are you feeling a 5 instead of maybe say an 8? Can you tell me a little bit about what makes you pick 5?
Because they've been part of my life for so long. I've had them for so long. I that's all I do. But the kids say they'll bring the children over and we'll make like play dates and we can do stuff together. And they would help me get the house cleaned up, and which would be nice.
Yeah, being in a, you mentioned that it's hard to keep up with all the medical and the litter boxes. And so, if you lessen the number of cats you have, you might be able to do that better, you think?
Probably,
yeah. So let's just say you give up the cats and you're feeling okay. Maybe you're just at that 5. What kind of things do you think that you would be able to do that you weren't able to do previously with all the cats? Is there anything that you might be able to do easier?
Like with them in the house, or when I see one?
Them in the house. So, right now, right before the authorities got called, you were living with them all. And, that's a huge responsibility.
Right.
So what kind of things were you not able to do when you had all the cats that you might be able to do with less?
I'd love to be able to cook again.
Okay. So is your kitchen pretty taken over by the cats?
Yeah, and it was kind of dangerous because they would jump up, and if I had an eye on, they might get burned.
Okay.
So I stopped cooking a long time ago.
Okay, so it sounds like one benefit of this change would be being able to see your grandkids, being able to cook some more, being able to clean up your house a little bit. So it sounds like there are some benefits.
Yeah.
So maybe we could, in future sessions, work through some coping skills, some ideas. If you see a stray cat, what kind of steps you can take to, find them a home. You don't have to necessarily leave them there, but you can take different steps instead of feeling like that's all your responsibility.
Yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be the hardest part for me.
Okay, so we can definitely work on some steps, to work through that. I know that it's a big change, and it's really awesome that, you seem positive about the benefits of the change, and you are able to recognize those. So that's really good.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's going to be hard, but I'm going to work on it.
Mm-hmm. So it sounds like your kids want to be able to have that relationship with you and bring the kids over. They're real positive about that.
Yeah.
And so, do you see them as a support system for this? Being able to help you make the change?
I hope so. It's definitely been cause of a lot of tension.
Okay, in the past?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's hard. So maybe, you making those steps forward will lessen that tension, and hopefully they can be there to support you. Maybe you can, explain, like how we talked about, how important it is to you, but also what's hard about it for you, because they might not understand that. And so
maybe I could bring them in here.
Yeah, we could see if that could work out. Just talking about what that's like for you, what it's like for them, and then, you're making the steps to make the change, and so that's really good. All right. So when you come back next time, I'll have more information about, the shelters in the area that are no-kill that can help you place the cats where you feel comfortable with them going, and we can talk about what your steps look like to cleaning up your house and, getting that relationship with your grandkids and kids back. And, even what it looks like just to have 7 cats again, in your house, and how to balance that out, or 5 if it needs to be 5. Yeah. Does that sound good?
That sounds good.
All right. It was nice meeting with you.
Nice to meet you.
I'll see you next time.
Okay.